Good morning, guys. This is week 6 of Applied Economics, and actually, this is already an added topics for this subject because I have already discussed everything what's in the module, supposedly what's in the module during this distance learning. However, ano to, the first quarter has been extended to December 12, and basically it's either we need to keep on working, you need to keep on working on the tasks, especially for those who are lagging behind, and another option would be to add additional topics that is included from the old curriculum guide. And I believe that there are only a few of you who had been lagging behind. So for those people na nahuhuli, meron pang mga hindi natapos na tasks, you can always do the task and pass it at a later time until at least December 20, no, not December 25, that's Christmas time, until December 12, okay? So just in time for the end of the first quarter. Kasi from January 4, you will be having a new set of subjects, di ba? And it's going to culminate your first semester for this school year, okay? So if you have questions, doon lamang tayo sa ating GC mag-usap, okay? And for those, for people na may problema with regards to access online, I have already prepared a printed lecture for you na pwede ninyong kunin kay Ma'am Estalio. Okay? So, this is contemporary economic issues facing the Filipinos entrepreneur, which will focus on investment and rentals. Kasi there are 2 or 3 other topics still with contemporary economic issues that should be included. I'm going to record another supplemental lecture for that maybe definitely next week. Okay? So again, questions, dun lamang tayo. And for those people na may problema with regards to internet or data access, you can always ask a classmate who is your kapitbahay to assist you. And for those na meron, please do assist naman yung inyong mga classmate. Malasakit tayo, lalo na sa panahon ngayon sa ating mga kaklase. Because not everybody has the same resources as you do. So kung meron naman kayo, hindi nyo naman kailangan gumastos, you're just going to download and share it, please do. Please do so and show malasakit to your classmates. So your first activity would be to list down reasons why people need to invest. At least a minimum of 10 reasons. Why people need to invest? Bakit pa natin kailangan mag-invest if we have a surplus of resources, okay? Kasi hindi naman tayo makakapag-invest, especially if kung sakto o kulang pa, di ba? Yung ating resources. Although in business principles naman kasi, for you to be able to magnify your limited resources, mas maganda i-invest siya, di ba? Kasi if you're just keeping it or spending everything doon sa ating pangangailangan, so ang nangyayari, pasok-labas, ganun lang, di ba? And sometimes, lalo na kung kulang pa, kailangan pa nating mangutang, di ba? That is true actually in most of the families, especially yung medyo nasa mababang estado ng pamumuhay. Ang pangungutang ay isa sa mga option. But given a chance that if you are going to have resources to invest, ano sa tingin mo ang dahilan kung bakit kailangang mag-invest ng mga tao? Okay? Ano yung mga mabubuting bagay na ibinibigay ng pag-i-invest ng inyong pera para ma-magnify yung inyong economic resources? And you have to write that in your answer sheet. Okay? So, in a whole sheet of paper, you need to write that. Bakit kailangan mag-invest ng mga tao? Okay? Kailangan ba talaga? Okay? ng mga tao mag-invest kung meron din lang na mag-invest into business or any money multiplier scheme na meron tayo dito sa mundo at nag-exist. Kasi it doesn't always necessarily mean that you need to open your own business. There are several ways on investing money and making your money grow. Okay, and we're going to discuss it a little uh, more dito sa ating topic na ito. Okay. Next activity would be if you and your family can invest on something, what is it and why? So kung makakapag-invest ka or yung inyong pamilya or ikaw in the future, kapag magtatrabaho ka na, saan mo siya i-invest at bakit doon mo siya gustong i-invest at bakit sa tingin mo magandang doon siya i-invest, okay? Ang common kasi dito sa atin, nasabi ko na yan sa inyo, is that usually people, nagkaroon ng konting pera, people would invest in sari-sari store. Naayos ko yung camera ko, mahangin. Okay? Would invest in sari-sari store. Eh si kapitbahay, nagkaroon din ng konting pera, nagsari-sari store din. Tabi-tabi na kayo. Diba? Is it a good idea? Do you think it is a good idea? Or kung halimbawa meron ng mga sari-sari store dyan sa lugar ninyo, what do you think is the wisest business idea that you can have para despite of the existence of those sari-sari store, pwede ka pa rin mag-invest into something. Okay? So, your activity would focus saan nyo gustong mag-invest kung may pera rin lang naman kayo at bakit nyo gustong doon mag-invest. You give reasons, okay? You need to at least come up with 5 investment idea on this activity. You write it in your answer sheet, okay? Next, let's go to the topic proper. Investment. So we need to understand investment. Investment is a process of building capital stock or the expenditure which determines the income and production in the economy. So again, investment, when you do investment, it is a process of building up capital stock. So ibig sabihin, with the virtue of investment or by doing investment, you are able to raise up capitals, diba? And these capitals basically determines the income and production of in the economy. Kasi the more capital that you have, the more business activity that you can do, and at the same time, the more goods and services product will be made. Okay? And basically, if there is an existence of several goods and services that may be chosen by your customers, and practically it will provide you better income. Okay? So it also refers down to the value of machinery, plants, and buildings that are bought by firms for production and purposes. Investment doesn't necessarily mean shelling out money or contributing money. Okay? Investment also comes in the form of contributing machines, plants, the planta, hindi yung hindi yung pinapatubo ninyo at dinibiligan. Plants and buildings that are bought by firm for production purposes. Kasi this also helps in making goods and services indirectly, di ba? And basically, it possesses some value to it that you can actually contribute it as a capital. Okay? So, investment again is the capital expenditure on the purchase of physical assets such as plant, machinery, and equipment. These are also known as fixed investment and stocks. Also as inventory investment. So it is also investment kapag kayo ay bumili ng mga physical assets gaya ng planta, ng mga machines, ng mga equipments. That is investment, di ba? Kasi the value you put into it will actually yield profit for the person who invested or the organization who invested to it, di ba? Kasi gagamitin naman nila yan as part nung production processes or in making up products. Okay? So you call it as fixed investment, yung plant, machinery, and equipment. And it is also an investment if you purchase stocks, di ba? Like for example, nagulat tayo, nung pinasara yung ABS-CBN, nagulat tayo doon sa balita na isa pala si Vic Soto sa top investor. Top ano to, capital investor ng ABS-CBN. And Vic Soto is known as his association with GMA, di ba? Bakit? Paano nangyayari yung mga ganito? Kasi especially corporation, they open and they sell their stocks to the general public, di ba? Di ba nasabi ko na yan sa Principles of Management na ang rule ng pagbebenta ng capital stocks sa general public is kapag hindi na siya bibilhin ng mga existing stockholders, di ba? So ibinibenta na yan doon sa general public. So ibig sabihin, kapag binenta yan sa general public, everybody, anyone who can actually who has the ability to purchase can actually buy a stock from any organization na nagbebenta nito, di ba? So people can be a stockholder of any organization who sells up their stock. Saan ginagamit yung mga pinagbenta ng stock? That is a capital formation ng isang kumpanya para sa expansion or an added expansion, meaning pagpapalaki ng kumpanya, or in funding several new products or several new investing schemes nung mismong kumpanya. Kasi a company can also invest with stocks with another company. Kahit kalaban ko pa yan na kumpanya, kung nagbibenta naman sila ng stocks, pwede akong bumili. Di ba? Bakit? Kasi that is business. We are trying to own assets as much as possible na pwede nating makuha. At the same time, we are trying to magnify our resources. So, ibig sabihin, yung pera ko, pwede kong i-invest sa kalaban kong kumpanya, not for the purpose na para sila ay lumago, but for the purpose of me owning a part of that company. Diba? Nakukuha ba yon? So that is investment. Okay. So investment and expenditure. Investment expenditure means capital spending. So ibig sabihin, yung na-accumulate mo na investment, this will be used for an investing activity na ginagastos mo yon para in the long run or even in a short run, makakuha ka ng tubo galing doon sa pinagkagastosan mo. That is investment expenditure. Okay. It is mainly derived from accumulated savings and other sources external to the circular flow. So external to the circular flow, ito yung ating tubo. Gagamitin natin yan in paying our debts, in paying our employees, in paying our utilities and everything. Kung merong sobra dyan, yan po ay gagamitin natin para mapalagoy negosyo. That is internal, di ba? Pero when we talk about external circular flow, meron tayong mga nakukuhang pondo, pera, investment coming from other people who do not belong with the organization or who are not actively participating in managing the organization, na pwede nating gamitin as capital para ipagawa ng bagong business or bagong produkto, okay? Na hindi natin kinakailangan gamitin yung internal resources natin, okay? That is external circular flow. So we are making business out of our external resources coming from selling of stocks, coming from pagpapahiram sa gobyerno, that is also an investment, etc. Nagagamitin natin doon sa ibang klaseng business activities bukod pa doon sa karaniwan na nating ginagawa. Okay? it does not come from current income and consumption. Hindi natin gagalawin yon. Yung kita natin doon sa ating internal operation will be solely used for our internal operation. Although yung ano nito, yung sobra rito may also be used for external purposes, di ba? Okay? Ayan. So do you have questions? Doon lamang tayo sa ating GC. So, continuing, why is it important daw? Or bakit importante sa ating economy yung investment? Okay? Mainly, the importance of investment is to make money flow at a level that it opens up several opportunities, not just for the business organization, but also for private individuals to get access to job opportunities. Okay, that is that is the importance of investment, the basic importance of investment in the economy. Okay, and then continuing on, teka lang ayaw mag-move ng aking cursor. Okay? So next is the next importance would be current business income reserves current business needs. So hindi na natin kailangan galawin. Hindi na natin kailangan galawin yung income ng internal operations natin para ipang-finance ng ating mga business expansions and business opportunities na nakikita natin na papakinabangan ng ating organization. Okay? The next would be the surplus may not be sufficient to finance even a fraction of investment spending. Instead, a business may borrow the savings of the economy, which households likewise do. Example for housing construction. Okay? Naririnig niyo ba yung anak ko? Nagwawala sa labas. Nakalak yung kwarto ko eh. Nadidistract ako. Okay, so investment daw is important to the economy. Bakit? Yung sobra, yung tubo ng ating business may not be enough or may not suffice para pondohan yung ating mga business opportunities na nakikita, 'di ba? That is why we are inviting external entities to invest in our business. And at the same time, if not, we can actually borrow. We can actually borrow from financial institution na gaya ginagawa ng mga private individuals that they borrow from banks, other financial institution to finance yung housing construction nila, to finance yung kanilang yung kanilang mga other urgent needs for their personal needs ng kanilang buhay. Okay? Wait. Okay? And then number 3, nadidistract ako sa anak ko. Okay, I'm going to continue this one. After an hour, nangulit ang anak ko kasi. So, the next reason why investment is important to the economy would be investment, therefore, requires that a portion of current consumption be foregone. Meaning, you save it to free up resources which can be used to finance future investments. So, you investment daw would requires na yung ating yung ating mga pangangailangan sa business, yung ating mga need i-finance sa business, hindi muna natin gagawin. We're going to save it so that we will be able to to have something to finance in the future time for when an opportunity for a good investment is presented to the business. Okay? And then investment daw is classified into two types. So there are two types of investment. The FIIs or the fixed income investment. So what is a fixed income investment? So investors are aware that there are risky investment options. So when you invest on something, it doesn't come with an assurance na you're going to succeed or you are going to yield only positive results, di ba? Bakit? Kasi investing is actually a risk. Pwede kang tumubo, pwedeng hindi, pwedeng manalo, pwedeng matalo. It's always a risk, di ba? So for investors daw who are averse to risk, fixed income investment are the best option since these investments are guaranteed to have a lower risk. So sa mga investors daw na hindi ganoon kagaling or kaganda tumanggap ng risk or ayaw ng mataas ang risk when it comes to investment, it is always recommended for them to invest in a fixed income investment. Diba? Kasi mas mababa daw yung risk ng pagkalugi sa fixed income investment. So, fixed income investments are investments that provide fixed periodic sources of income over a certain period of time. Like for example, you invest 100 peso on FIIs. So, ibig sabihin daw, yung 100 pesos mo, you will be assured na after 1 month, for example lang ha, after 1 month, you will have a 10% profit from it. After the second month, another 10% and so on. Fixed yon regardless of what happened to the company whom you have invested. Okay? So examples of this, government securities like treasury bonds, treasury bills, and notes. So actually, this is the best way to invest, di ba? Bibili ka ng treasury bonds or yes, bibili ka ng treasury bonds, treasury bills, and notes sa government, di ba? So the governments are actually selling this treasury bonds, treasury bills, and government notes. Hindi yung notes na papel ha. This is a document that has a value on it, sa face value niya, and basically it has an assured income at a certain period in the future. Okay? So all of these are actually just documents pero nabebenta at naipambibili kasi they are considered as negotiable instruments. Okay? So government securities like treasury bonds, treasury bills, and notes. Bakit this is a safe investment? Bakit? Kasi at an agreed or contracted period of time, you are assured of an income. So pag binili ko yan ng 1,000,000, after 1 year, I am say for example, on the agreement, meron ako a treasury bond or a treasury bill or a notes is assured of a 10% income regardless of what happened to the economy or to the government income, babayaran kayo. Mababa yung pagkalugi dyan or halos hindi kayo malulugi kapag you purchase a government securities. Diba? Next is corporate bonds which have higher interest compared to government securities. That's the thing, di ba? Kasi sa government, mas mababa pero assured din kayo. Although sa corporate bonds, assured din kayo pero ang advantage nito, mas mataas ang interest. Kasi it's like lending money eh. It's like lending money to the government or lending money to the corporation na at a certain period of time, ibabalik nila sa iyo yung pera may interest pa kasi nagamit nila yung pera in funding business activities na kailangan nilang pondohan. Okay? Or in the case of the government, in distributing the financial resources doon sa mga sector na mas nagde-demand or nangangailangan nung pondo na iyon. Okay? And then special deposits daw, accounts offered by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, like at a certain period of time, sabi natin, magdideposito ako ng 1,000,000 sa isang financial institution pero hindi ko siya pwedeng bawasan, kuhain at a specific period of time. Like for example, a minimum 5 years. Okay? Pero dahil hindi ko siya makukuha or magagamit for a certain period of time, I am assured of a high interest na makukuha ko pagdating ng maturity niyan. So, ibig sabihin, after 5 years, say for example, I am assured of a 15% annual interest kada taon mula doon sa 1,000,000 na yon. Di ba? Assured yon. So, walang risk doon. Sa loob ng 5 taon, gagamitin nila yon sa kung anong paggagamitan nila. Like for example, ipapautang rin nila or pambibili ng ganon at ganito na kung saan tutubo rin sila. Then pagdating ng panahon na yun, dahil may utang sila sa akin, babayaran nila ako ng may interest. Di ba? That is a very good investment. Hindi naman kasi kailangan lagi tayong may physical store for us to be able to invest on something, di ba? Sometimes you also need to buy stocks na kikita yung pera natin. Although there is a risk, kikita ang pera natin kapag maganda ang ekonomiya nang wala tayong masyadong physical effort in doing so. But of course, regardless naman kahit anong negosyo yan that you are investing in, laging may may risk. Kahit nga si sari-sari store, may risk yan. Kapag dumami kayo dyan na magkakapit bahay, bumababa yung patronage sa'yo, bababa yung income, baka magsara ka pa. Diba? Lahat naman kasi ng form of investment, merong risk. Okay? Next is foreign currency time deposit. So, ibig sabihin, you are depositing yung inyong yung inyong mga dollars, and then for a certain period of time you're not going to touch it, and then you will be assured of an interest kasi they are using it as part of the dollar reserve ng Pilipinas for the use of import and export business processes from this country and to another country, and that is why it is always important to have a foreign currency reserve in the Philippines. But because they are using that for that purposes, you will be given, at hindi mo yun nagagamit you will be given a specific interest rate para naman yung paggamit nila sa panahon na yun na hindi mo ginagamit, merong babalik pa rin sa'yo. And that actually is an investment. Okay? So the next type of investment is a variable income investment. So these are form of investment that are suitable for risk-tolerant individual. Dun sa isa, assured, mababa yung risk factor. Pero dito sa variable income investment, this is for people who have high tolerance for risks, di ba? So kaya nilang makipaglaro, makipagsapalaran. Ayan, para sa mahilig maglaro yan. Okay, so VIIs naman ito. So in VIIs, the returns are not fully guaranteed. So pag sinabi natin nag-invest ka ng 1,000,000, hindi natin masasabi na babalik yan sa iyo ng 1,000,000, 1,100,000, 1,010,000, and so on. Pwede kasing bumalik yan sa iyo lalo na kapag hindi naging maganda yung investment activities, babalik sa iyo yan ng mas mababa. Nalugi ka pa, di ba? Then in VII, sabi nga, the reason for this is that the returns from variable income investments are strongly influenced by economic situation and the behavior of financial markets. So this is highly influenced by the economies. Halimbawa, before the shutdown of ABS-CBN, sabihin natin maganda yung kanilang standing when it comes to stocks in the market. Bakit? Kasi kumikita, mataas ang reach ng kanilang market, and then at the same time, they are ano to, they are venturing in several business models, 'di ba? Meron silang online, meron silang free TV, meron silang digital, meron silang mga ano to, film production, record production, okay? So diverse yung pag-aano nila, yung pinagkakakitaan nila, pero biglang pinasara sa ABS-CBN. So what happens, 'di ba? So what happens? Halimbawa nung panahon na maayos ang takbo ay ang halaga ng isang stocks is 100 pesos. Okay? Dahil ipinasara sila bigla, pwedeng bumaba yung kanilang value ng stocks. Bakit? Ayoko na. Dahil ipapasara kayo, a day before na kayo ipapasara, ipupull out ko ang aking stocks, ibibili ko ng iba. Ganun ang magiging mentality ng mga stockholders nila. Hindi ako sasama sa pagbagsak ninyo. Okay? So what happens to those stockholders na natira? Bumaba yung value. Diba? That is an influence of the economic situation kasi it triggers a government restrictions doon sa paggalaw ng mga business models ng ABS-CBN. These things can happen suddenly, 'di ba? These are beyond the control of the business people who are managing the value of ABS-CBN stocks, 'di ba? Or pwede rin namang behavior ng financial markets. Hindi na kasi ganoon ka kumikita ang mga ang multimedia. Bakit hindi na lang tayo doon sa mga international network financial institution nag-invest? Invest na lang tayo sa Sun Life, invest na lang tayo sa Pru Life Insurance, kasi may bukod sa insurance, meron pa silang investment scheme. Mas maganda 'yon. Pull out tayo sa ABS, punta tayo dito sa mga 'to, 'di ba? So, that behavior can actually reduce the value of a certain stocks in the market, 'di ba? So, ang nangyayari diyan, walang masyadong influence ang government, pero yung behavior ng mga tao had influenced the decline of the value of a certain stocks. Okay? So what are the examples? Business ownership in the form of equities. Ito na. Alam niyo sa accounting ninyo. So kapag nag-invest kayo, you are expecting a return from that investment doon sa ininvest ninyo, for example sa corporation, di ba? But the thing is, hindi kumita eh, di ba? Hindi kumita. Dahil hindi kumita, same value or a decline or value or a loss or pwede naman kumita, di ba? So you are not assured kung talagang kayo ay kikita or babagsak yung inyong capital stocks, di ba? Next is the value, of course, of the company stocks. It goes up, it goes down. Kaya ngayon ang mga naglalaro sa stock market, lagi nilang binabantayan yung galaw kasi pag nakita nilang nagsisimulang dumicline, pull out yan, pull out. Pag na-pull out yan, invest nila sa tingin nila is maganda yung standing sa economy, sa financial market. And then number 3, investment fund daw shares that have a high level of liquidity since they can be easily converted into cash. So I think investors daw tend to prioritize dito sa mga dito sa mga companies na mataas yung level of liquidity. Sa inyong accounting, you know what liquidity means, di ba? So ibig sabihin, when we talk about liquidity, mataas yung kanilang reserves for cash or an asset na pwedeng i-convert into cash anytime that it needs to be disposed, di ba? Or kakailanganin. So kung ganyan yung yung isang kumpanya, nakaka-attract siya ng mas maraming investor. However, if that liquidity declines, mag-aalisan din si prospected investors. Okay, questions? Doon tayo sa ating GC. So for your activity 3, if you are an investor, which of the two types of investment would you prefer and why? So doon ba kayo sa may mataas na risk, mababang risk, the fixed income investment, or doon kayo sa may mataas na risk pero may mataas rin na posibilidad ng kita or the variable income investment? You need to justify your answer, okay? So, moving on. So, punta naman tayo sa investment and interest rates. Okay? So, interest rates daw play a key role in increasing capital stock, which in turn affect the investment. Okay? So, there is a negative or inverse relationship between investment and interest rate. You need to understand that investment comes with tubo or unexpected income. Diba? Wala naman kasing magpapahiram ng pera or mag-invest into something na hindi na umaasa, nakikita ang kanilang pera. So ano ang sinasabing inverse relationship? So ang sabi diyan, sa investment daw, kapag mataas ang interest rate, kaunti ang volume or dami ng mga nag-i-invest. Okay? Pero kapag mababa ang interest rate, mataas or madami yung volume ng gustong mag-invest, di ba? Nagigets ba yon? So the higher the interest rate, mas mataas yung interest rate, kukunti yung nag-i-invest, na mababa ang interest rate, mas marami ang nag-i-invest. Okay? So that is the inverse relationship. So activity 4. What are the common effects of high interest rates to small business owner or to individual borrowers? Kapag malaki ba tubo or mataas ang interest rate, marami ba ang nag-i-invest? Anong epekto nito sa mga small business owners? Are they going to readily invest their money into it? Or sa mga individual, uutang ba ako kapag mataas ang tubo sa isang sa isang investment scheme? Okay? So you need to justify your answer for that. So sa economics, it can be, interest daw may be used in two ways. It can be the price of the credit, yung halaga ng utang, which is often referred to as loanable funds. Ibig sabihin, yung halaga ng utang that is readily available na ipautang. Di ba? And then, it can also be the return that the capital earns as an input in the production process. It can also be daw yung tubo na nakukuha bilang bahagi ng production process. So interest rate, what is it? Represent the cost of using or borrowing money. Okay? So interest rates, when you borrow the money, halimbawa uutang ka ng 100,000, the 100,000 is the principal amount. Okay? That is the principal amount. Yung interest rate dyan is yung idinadagdag ni nagpapautang na iyon ang yun ang halagang babayaran mo doon sa inutangan mo. Diba? Like for example, si 100,000, dagdagan natin ng 10% per month. Hindi pwede. Technically pwede, di ba? Nasa batas si 10%. Pero beyond 10%, hindi na pwede yun. You are actually violating law kapag more than 10% yung halaga na interest rate na ipinapataw mo. Okay? So loanable funds refer to the amount of money lent out by a lender to a borrower for which the borrower will pay at an interest rate. So ibig sabihin, utang ako, ang loanable fund ko ay 100,000 pero papatungan ko yan ng 10%, that is the interest rate na gagamitin mo kung saan mo o gagamitin ko kung saan ko gustong gamitin. Okay. So interest as the return on capital can be illustrated in the case of printing press owner who decides to buy an additional equipment na nagkakahalaga ng 10,000. So after a year, After a year ng paggamit, 1,000 he earns 1,000 daw for using the equipment in his business. And then the 1,000 is equivalent to a 10% interest rate on the capital, which is the equipment. Oh, ito naman yung ano niya, sitwasyon. Umutang siya ng 10,000 para bumili ng printing machine, the high-end printing machine. Okay? So after a year daw, sa paggamit ng printing machine ngayon, tumubo siya ng 1,000. Okay, so naging 11,000 yung kanyang pera when it comes to operating the business. So yung 1,000 na yon represent daw the interest rate on his hand nung nag-borrow kasi tumubo siya ng 1,000 doon sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng makina na yon na nagkakahalaga ng 10,000. Okay? So sa case na to, interest is the return earned by the capital as an input in the production process. Okay? Hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan dito yung interest naman nung entity na nagpautang sa kanya, 'di ba? Kasi that is a different interest rate but still an interest rate. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, because I was able to secure a loan of 10,000, kumita ako ng 1,000, which is 10% doon sa halaga ng inutang ko. Nakukuha ba yon? Okay. Moving on. So the equilibrium Dow rate of 5% in figure 5, that figure shows the point where supply of loanable funds meet the demand for loanable funds. Okay, this indicates daw that there is just enough people willing to save the supply to match or meet the desire to borrow demands, di ba? So sa 5.1 shows the market for loanable funds where the demand is the amount of funds that firms and individuals will borrow at a given fund. So, ayan. Nakikita ninyo sa baba, there is a loanable funds and then at 5%, there are people who's willing to make loan at a certain level of interest. Pero pag itataas pa yung interest, basically less and less people are going to secure a loan, di ba? And then in 5.2 naman, the investment demand curve daw shows the amount of investment made of each interest rate, holding other determinants of investment constant. As interest rate goes down, the investment rises. So habang bumababa ang interest rate daw, yung investment naman daw ng mga investment activity ng mga tao ay tumataas. Okay? So interest rate affects the level of production of investment goods. A change in interest rates results in a change in investment demand, di ba? So kapag gumalaw si interest rate, tumaas si interest rate, bababa yung bababa yung demand to borrow funds, pero kapag bumaba si interest rate, tumataas yung demand to borrow funds. Okay? And then, determinants of investment. Fluctuation and changes in interest rates have a significant influence in investment. So these are the fluctuations. Pag sinabi natin fluctuations, pagbaba ng value. So these are the determinants of investment. Okay? So future expectation, reflect plans to change production capacity. As expectation changes, anticipating future returns from investment, the investment demand curve shifts to the right. On the other hand, if there are expectations of lower profits, the investment demand curve shifts to the left. So when we talk about the determinants of investment with regards to future expectation, basically investing activities moves high or low to the right or to the left, depending upon the economic and financial institution influence doon sa galaw ng pera. Okay? So level of economic activity. So when the GDP is high, the level of production increases. This boosts demand for capital and encourages higher investment. So kapag mataas yung gross domestic production, it requires an increase in the level of production. So ibig sabihin, marami ang gustong mag-invest kasi mataas din ang demand, and basically they can expect better They can expect better income coming from that investing activities, di ba? So when household daw income increases, consumption also goes up. So kapag yung mga income ng mga tao tumataas, definitely yung kanilang lifestyle din tumataas, yung kanilang consumption tumataas din. So it leads down to rise in aggregate demand. Okay? Kung dati 30 pesos lang na bigas ang kaya nating bilhin, medyo yumaman-yaman tayo, gusto natin 50 pesos. So mula doon sa nagko-consume ng 10 tao ng 50 pesos na bigas, dumagdag tayo, naging 11, tumaas yung demand. Di ba? And dahil tumataas ang demand, marami ngayon ang gustong magbenta ng 50 pesos na halaga ng bigas. Okay, technological change. With changes in technology, demand for capital will have to increase in order to keep up with this important development, di ba? So kapag nagbabago, actually yan ang pinakamabilis magbago, di ba? Technology. So the demand for capital will have to increase. Bakit? Kasi they need to keep up with the important developments, di ba? Kasi like for example, sa production natin, tumaas yung demand for technology like for example, yung mga robotics na ginagamit, bawasan natin ng mga tao, bili tayo ng mga makina para sa paggawa ng kung anumang produkto na yan. And basically, dahil dumadami ang gustong bumili ng makina, marami ang gagawa ng makina. Okay? And then next is public policy. Public policies in the form of granting incentives to firms can significantly affect the demand for capital, so thereby increasing investments. So investment tax credits and tax holidays can encourage investment in a country. So when we talk about public policy, for us to be able to attract investment in the Philippines, dapat daw meron tayong binibigay sa kanila ng mga rewards. What kind of rewards are these? Like for example, etong tax holiday. Mga taga-US, dito kayo mag-invest sa amin, or mga taga-Japan, dito ninyo gawin yung business ninyo, hindi kayo magbabayad ng income tax for 10 years. Di ba malaking bagay yon? Tapos mababa pa yung ating cost of labor compare sa kanila, dito na talaga sila mag-i-invest. So basically, when they do, it's an added income to the government, and at the same time, an added opportunity for laborers na magkaroon ng trabaho. Okay? Next, let's talk about rentals. Rent. So you know what is a rent, di ba? So in this case, rent it typically refers to the use of property for a certain amount. Gagamitin ko yung bahay mo, rerentahan ko yan, babayaran kita ng 10,000 kada buwan sa paggamit ko ng bahay mo. That is renting. Or any other things that may be rented out. So it is the price paid for the use of land and other natural resources or factors of production that is fixed in supplies. There are times na land is being rented, the building is being rented, and basically it has an equivalent amount for the rentals. Rent has been traditionally associated with lands, traditionally lang which is a fixed factor of production. Although sa panahon ngayon, from land to buildings na Kasi yung ginagawa, like for example, ng mga developers, nagpapatayo sila ng building, they're not going to use it. They are going to have it rented by people na meron silang negosyo. They need a space, especially for their people who are working for them na hindi nila kailangan magpagawa ng building. Diba? So, they just rent it out. So the concept daw of economic rent applies to economic factor, not just land. Several other things din naman, di ba? So economic rent is a payment of existing opportunity cost. According to David Ricardo, an influential British classical economist in early 1800s, rents is a surplus of revenue over cost which arise due to difference in the level of usability of the land. So the difference basically occur on the expenditures for maintenance and other maintenance related activities, and then in excess of it, that is actually the income, rental income nung may-ari ng kung anumang pinararentahan niya. And then the scarcity of land becomes the concept of renting. Kasi not everyone owns a land, but several people requires a space for them to be able to do business. Okay, so rent on land. Land is the most common type of investment aside from owning shares, cash, and securities. So in order to analyze the price of the use of land, it is determined. We must look at the supply of land at its level. Actually, not really in the case na we try to determine it based on our observation yung halaga ng land, but there are government entities assigned in appraising the value of the land, plus considering kung magkano yung expected return or expected income nung may-ari ng land, di ba? They need to meet at a certain point. Okay? Since the supply of land is perfectly inelastic, the level of demand is what determine the rental of land. So sa mga sa mga areas where there is a high business activities, mas mataas compared to areas na medyo mababa yung business activities. Okay? And then since supply of land is fixed, demand becomes the determinant of rent. Same thing. Aside from renting the land out, the owner of the land can also opt to sell the land at a higher price to earn a profit. Kung 1,000,000 yung appraised value ng lupa ko, pwede ko siyang ibenta ng 1.5 kasi yun ang aking demanded price and assigned price for the property that I have. Okay? So how is the demand for land determined? Economic rent also relies on productivity differences. Mas productive, mas mataas ang traffic, mas maraming tao, mas maraming business activities, mas mataas ang value. Several determinants indicate the productiveness of the land. So the first, products grown on the land. Okay, the location attribute to the land can also be considered for its demand, di ba? And then prices of other resources which are combined with the land. Yung city areas have higher land rates kumpara doon sa mga nasa liblib na lugar na mahirap abutin ng transportation and communication. Okay? So you have to note that a person keen on investing on land must realize that there are also risks to watch out. For one, ang example niya, it takes a long time to sell such a property, which means money is not easily realized kasi there are several consideration for the buyer to actually before deciding buying a land, and at the same time there are several documentary requirements before you are able to sell land. So hindi siya liquid asset, di ba? Although technically it's a fixed asset, but basically you can easily convert land into a cash, di ba? But you can convert it into cash. So activity number 5, do you think that it is a good business idea to rent on land, building and equipment when you do business? Why or why not? Okay? Sa tingin mo, kapag may negosyo ka, dapat ba imbis na magrenta ka, bilhin mo na lang? Or imbis na bumili ka, magrenta ka na lang ng land, ng building, or an equipment? Bakit sa tingin nyo dapat bumili o bakit sa tingin nyo dapat magrenta? You justify it on your answer sheet. So questions sa GC natin. No question, thank you, and another set of supplemental lectures will be sent to you next week. Okay? So just wait for the announcement of announcement of submission of your outputs for this week. I don't know if there is going to be a submission coming from your advisor, Ma'am Estalia. Diba? So another question. Thank you.